it might have gone through.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. It's all good.
Because it picked up something. I don't know what.
It was picking up something. I don't know why it wasn't picking us up though. Like, because everything I did, like I already tested this, and it came through great. So there may be an episode on that.
Yeah, we'll see.
So maybe not.
If not, you could probably splice it together.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
All right, but Coffee Regular, live, Redux. Yeah. We may have had a live, but maybe not. We'll be having a wonderful conversation with Brandon from Slice.
Yes. Appreciate you guys having me again.
Plug your coffee one more time, just in case we didn't go through. What coffee did you bring us today?
Yes, again, some beans, Owaka blend from Little Ghost Roasters, Columbus. Shout out to them. Yeah, it's so nice to see small businesses, especially in the city, really have a product that's just like it's super fire. And you are not really discovered yet, and you just have so much more room to grow. So, yeah.
I think just talking about, again, like platforms, stuff like that, using platforms, like talking about smaller businesses on stuff like this can just, whether prompted or not, help so much.
For sure.
I've obviously, like, you've reached out to coffee companies and stuff, like, found we found so many companies, but you wouldn't are necessarily like mainstream or whatever, so
that we never would have known about because they're small and they're local, and that is there's a coffee community. Didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
we just thought we liked coffee and liked to talk about shit while we drink coffee.
There's a culture.
There's a whole culture around it.
We had a nice long conversation before this, potentially recorded. I don't know. We'll see. But state of affairs of the world right now, and it's really nice to have Brandon here just to discuss his experiences and his feelings about what's going on right now. And it's nice to have someone's perspective, so we can just kind of listen. We had some really good questions before, so dig into those a little bit.
Really good stuff. I'm trying to be in the moment, but I'm just pissed off at myself and my sound didn't work.
That's all good, man. That's all good. Stuff happens.
It might have. It was picking something up. It's okay. But I guess, that worked for us rather than the world. It's been nice. Okay. Because isn't that what this is about? It's really just us chatting. We just happen to let other people listen. It's the truth. But with, how's your business been affected with all the protests and, as a separate thing of the riots and how people are feeling about going out?
Yeah, I'll give it to you multiple ways. For myself, being a black man, my mind has not been fully immersed in my business because I see what's going on around me, and especially, again, when it's in your backyard, it's a whole different type of feeling. So it's been a very stressful time for me, and then also most of my colleagues around me, other bakers and other small business owners, are white, so it's hard for me to, explain to them, for one, what's going on, and then also what's going on with me too, because some of them don't understand like anything. They're just like, oh well, cops are bad. It's like, no, it's so much more deeper than the police brutality things. So you have that aspect.
But you have had like communication with people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, people have been very supportive overall. I do appreciate that. As far as delivery wise, the streets getting shut down, that has impacted me sometimes, and I have had to either reimburse or just ask if you would like me to deliver a different time. I'll do that for you, but I literally can't get to you. Like the street is, but I'm not able to. Hey, excuse me, Mr. Marine, can you move out of my way, please? It's not going to happen. But also, I have had an increase in sales, which I'm appreciative. But it's also happened with quarantine too, because nobody was leaving their house. So it really just jacked up my abilities because I've already been direct to consumer.
Yeah. I mean, just saving gas money alone, you can put that on cheesecake.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
But it has been definitely affected me. So I'm trying to delve more into the meditation side even harder, just to keep going, because man, there's just times, like especially right now, I'm not very active on Instagram because not only I don't even know what to say, I'm stressed out myself, but like stuff pops up all the time, like I don't need to see this, I don't want to see this, you know what I mean? So it's been difficult, but at the same time, man, you tapped onto those birthing pains. Like, this is a new era.
Yeah,
you just got to get with it. You got to mold. You know, we're trying to get back into a sense of normalcy from quarantine, but also with this is with the racial issues going on. Yeah, you can't move the same way anymore.
But no, I mean, you got to move forward now.
Yeah.
You can't go lateral anymore, man. You got to go forward.
And if it were recorded or not, we were speaking just about the acknowledgement of how the country was founded, you know?
Yeah.
And that big picture is what you're trying to get across, you know? Like,
I want people, you know, especially white people, to understand, like, we don't want you, the black community as a whole does not want you to understand racism. We don't want you to understand persecutions. We want you to acknowledge that this stuff is going on. Understand how to be a part of the solution. That's what you have to understand. That's it. So, and it does get flawed when you have the protesters who turn it into a riot. Any color. You know what I mean? It overshadows everything. If you look at it, even with social media, people love just trash content. They love to watch trash. They soak it up. They get off on it. So especially seeing that in person, they're like, oh, let me tweet about this. Let me post this. Let me hashtag this, and that. And it's just like, no. You're missing the overall point. This country, it was built off of slavery, the backs of slaves. The money that we spend, you know, some of these guys on these dollar bills own slaves. It's a fact. You know, we were not allowed to drink from water fountains, eat in restaurants, like basic civil liberties.
Long after slavery.
Yeah, long after slavery, and this stuff still goes on. Just acknowledge it, you know. And the situation is not a matter of, like I said, police brutality. It is a systemic issue that we have to fix. We can't just keep saying, fuck the police, they killed another black man. Like I said, Obama was president, a black president was in office when black men were getting killed by cops. And still we have another black man who, crazy about George Floyd, did a video about police brutality. And like, who would have thought that, he didn't think when he woke up that morning, I'm going to, you know, have my life taken. So you got to get to the root cause of everything. And it just takes work. It's not going to be pretty at all. You're going to have a lot of backlash and a lot of animosity. And, you know, you have to take these things with the good and the bad. You know? Anything that you're trying to accomplish anyway is not going to be easy if any value to you, you know.
I mean, there's so much change. It's change that people don't even realize needs to happen.
Oh, for sure,
it's
man.
So ingrained. Like, let me put a little history perspective for you guys. My godmother is 75. She's from Creedmoor, North Carolina. Now, as a family, we have a prejudice bone in our body. We love everybody. Everybody comes to our house, regardless of race, gay, straight, whatever. Like, her mother was alive when slavery was still around. Because
that's wild.
She's much younger than the rest of her siblings. My godmother is. Her mom, you know, my grandma, like, she remembers certain things.
Yeah.
And like, so like in my family, that's how close the past is. And even how we acted toward everybody was very influenced by, you know, my godmother's mother, or my grandma, of being inclusive, treating everyone the same, loving everyone, and also education is hammered hard in my family. Where like everyone, you know, has degrees. We go to school. We talk to, like, we learn about our community. We know everybody. But that's how close the past is, man. Or like a story I heard once, Dick Van Dyke talks about his grandmother. And he says his grandmother loved to tell him a story about when her dad took her to see a man running for president that came to Danville, Illinois, where their family's from. She was so excited, and she was 9 years old, and she remembers this very vividly. You know who they went to see, who was the man running for president? Lincoln.
Oh man, shoo-wee.
That's how close the past is, man.
There's like a funny meme, like it shows Albert Einstein. It's like Albert Einstein teaching a class in the 1940s, and then underneath someone's like, I forgot this dude wasn't from the 1700s. Like, people don't connect that he was very close.
Very close. Yeah, but I mean, slavery's not that far away.
Yeah. But even the segregation era is not far away.
Not far away at all. We know plenty of people who lived through that. And I mean, I've met people that lived through concentration camps. Told me about living in a freaking concentration camp. I've met people that lived through the segregated South and would tell me how that, and during the civil rights movement, that were in marches and saw basically, I mean, a lot of the same things you see now.
Yeah.
And I mean, the past is not very far away, man.
It's not.
So that's sometimes that scares the shit out of me. But sometimes it's kind of cool. Like, I don't know, that's a back and forth feeling for me, but I try to remind myself of that. Of, like, that's why we got to keep moving. People are still very, very connected to some very old ideas.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even know it.
Yeah. Like we spoke about before, like, I was raised and exposed to, like, racism through comedy and stuff. Like, I was basically raised in just, like, 99.9% white neighborhood, essentially, and, like, we joked about stuff, and that, again, just, like, that exposure made light of it, so, like, I didn't have real exposure to knowing what was actually happening.
Yeah, you didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, so then it was just, in my head, it was lighter than it was until, even though, you had, like, Chappelle, like, making sketches that are so in depth. Like, looking back now, I was like, how the fuck do I even know what's going on?
Like the Clayton Bigsby?
Clayton Bigsby.
It was so real, though. As based off of, it's not quite to the T of the humor that he was using, but he's going off of real life situations. That's the crazy thing.
Well, that was the crazy thing about Chappelle's show, is he perfected that.
He was wild.
All of that was off real life situations.
Yeah,
even the Goofy Prince shit was all like, those are all real stories from Charlie Murphy. But then even all the family things and the characters that he would play, they all come from reality. And he sort of, like, he was the master of it. And so many people had no idea what they were laughing at, and that's why he left. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, just, again, that was just exposure ignorance, you know what I mean? Like, and like you said before, like, I don't want you to understand racism. I'm like, I don't think I would want to either, but, so I guess just learning and taking the perspective is impactful and important to me. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's why we have to have these conversations. As uncomfortable as some people feel about it, it's just like, but it's real. It's not just like, oh, well, something may have happened, maybe, and, we go off of that. It's just like, no, these are real things.
Yeah.
The fact that we talked about lynching was legal in the South. You were legally allowed to hang a black person, kill them. Emmett Till really goes back to the situation with the guy in Central Park. This woman lied on, he's a kid, and they killed him because he whistled or whatever at a white woman. It's just like, come on now. We have to understand every aspect. Every aspect from every city, every state. It's not the same, it's different, but again, just looking at it and saying, okay, wow, fuck, this is real. This was real, it still goes on. Okay, how can I, within my own means too, well, I don't expect you guys to go out there and, like, be pro Black Panther and all this other stuff, but just even these conversations are helpful. Simple things, very, very simple things.
That's a weird statement now. Pro Black Panther means a lot different to people now than to even people our age. If you said it to my daughter, she's like, hell yeah, I'm pro Black Panther, because she's thinking about the comic book character, the Black Panther.
No.
And so, you gotta put that in perspective, man. Because there's a cultural shift too. And we're kind of in the midst of it. Like, as kids, we learned about the 60s. I know a lot of hippies. I know a lot. Like, I grew up in a town filled with a bunch of, like, refugee hippies and all. Teachers and stuff were in movements and marches and all that. But we just learned about it. Even my mom was deep in that, man. And, but now we get to live it, guys.
Right.
Now we get to kind of understand, oh, this is what cultural change can look like. This is how it feels like. That's a,
yeah, it's a, change takes a lot of time, and there's like the transition period. That's never like written about. I feel like, it's washed to the point like this happened and on this date, cool.
And it goes
like,
fixed.
Yeah.
And there's no perspective on the amount of time that took.
Right.
Now we're living in it. I'm referring to shit from the 90s. That's part of this time.
Yeah.
Of this whole string of events is the entirety of my life.
Yep.
Which will be reduced to hopefully 3 pages with some decent pictures in a history book in school on your iPad, right? But just there is no, like you said, perspective, no personal perspective. So, and again, like I think in the future, history books will be this type of thing. So people go back, listen to what's documented, like listen to people's personal perspectives, and hopefully that's so much easier to do.
Yeah,
because that was impossible.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of almost a joke comparison, but my daughter and I have been watching The Last Dance, which, the Bulls 2 3-peats, all about Michael Jordan, all about that. So I'm reliving my childhood. I'm freaking tearing up. I'm holy shit, I didn't know that. So I'm telling her stories, and it's bringing up all these different experiences from the 90s and from when I was a kid and when I was her age, and even though I grew up in a very inclusive family that loved everybody and everyone came over, but to see how separate things were, and even just as a joke to know that the flu game wasn't the flu game, it was a food poisoning game. Fuck. But that's how much information didn't travel. That's how much personal perspective didn't happen. And now, we're going to put this out to the world.
You have every athlete's Twitter, and they can
let you know every second of what they're doing. I woke up and ate this today, and I'm going to go jump over some stuff from a training, and like cool. So I don't know. The upsides and downsides of social media is it's too easy to get information, so you can get bad information, but it's too freaking easy to get information too, so you can get good information. I like that.
Yeah, and that's always, I think, again, coming back to uncomfortable conversations and stuff, like with social media, it's a tool and a weapon. We've talked about that. It can be both. And like the Blackout Tuesday thing, and then like even with social media movements like that, even like based on the algorithm of how things work, like if people were hashtag Black Lives Matter, it would like hide it or like put it somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be. Like there's a problem with
they hashtagged it wrong, and it like messed up the movement. So people started saying, don't Black Lives Matter, don't tag that with this, tag it with Blackout Tuesday.
So like even when people are trying, there's like some other weird thing in the way that like makes it harder, even just like technologically.
But is that an opportunity to learn though for a lot of people?
I think so.
I hope so.
But again, like we're talking about, like sort of like just like people just posting on social media and like not knowing what else to do or thinking that's enough. Like, what do you think people can do to like get messages across, or like what do you think people? What do you want to see people doing? I guess. Like,
okay, I have to start this off with what I don't want to see people doing. I do not want to see white people, like I said, what we were talking about earlier, kneeling down and like bowing down. That video was crazy to me. I don't want to see that. We don't need that. That offends me. I don't need you to kneel to me. I'm not your master at all. Like, we're trying to get past this whole master slave shit, right? Do not just sign your name on a petition. At the end of the day, you really don't know where that petition is going. It's not a law. It's not Congress. It's not going to get you anywhere. We've done this before prior with other protests and things like that and situations. Like, again, what I want people to do is just listen. Just listen. Try to acknowledge the best you can. Do not get to the point where that's all you're trying to submerge yourself in is just, oh my God, black people have been oppressed. Okay, no, you acknowledge it now. Again, understand the solution, how to do that. So that means having these conversations is a huge step. Because I couldn't tell you how many people, white and black, will not have these conversations because they themselves are going to get offended. But it's that lack of knowledge of what's really going on. You just see a one-sided lane, and it kind of flaws up everything. I appreciate the Blackout Tuesday post because there's not some sob story. I don't want to hear that you like black people. I don't want to see that you say you like. We don't. If you really are not prejudiced, you're not, right? You don't need likes and follows for it. So thank you for that. And there were those other people who But trying to learn, that's beautiful too. You know what I mean? So, like I said, have the conversations, and then, if you can, really be a part of pushing for legislation for this basic civil liberties for people. I myself am not fully sure what all issues we got going on in Columbus, but stick with that. You know, a lot of people all donate to a bail fund for people. But and again, we talked about the vandals, white or black. You do not deserve to be bailed out of jail. I don't care. Do you have people who are going to get stopped by the police for doing dumb things who, just because you're with them? Absolutely. But don't give money to these groups. Don't worry about what's going on in Minneapolis. You don't live in Minneapolis. You live in Columbus.
There's shit popping off here. So.
Yeah, shit popping off here. Don't worry about LA. Don't worry about Georgia. Worry about here. Acknowledge people here. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's how you spread that fire out, as these small little sparks in your own backyard. So, again, what you guys are doing is incredible. Just keep doing this. And I hope that other people who hear this, you know, at the end of the day, these conversations are not uncomfortable. You are human beings just talking to each other, trying to see different viewpoints and perspectives.
The idea of it is more uncomfortable than talking.
Nothing will ever be perfect. You know, nothing will ever be how we want it to be. But, you know, we can still do the best that we can to try to make some changes and differences. But
sign of good luck.
Yeah, man.
If that answers your question, I don't know if I went too much off in different directions. But
No, absolutely, that's perfect.
Cool. Mike asked better questions.
Oh, dude, I just like churn up crazy shit in my brain, man.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, I'm genuinely curious, and I want to know for my own benefit, if that's selfish, but also recording it and putting it out to other people is wonderful too, I think. You know, because again, there's so many people like that I know have never experienced that thing, like putting so much out. I'm like, why don't you talk to somebody and like get their perspective? You know, like.
Yeah, I don't. Is it people don't leave their bubble? They don't have or they're afraid to approach other people?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fear.
Yeah,
the fear of the unknown.
Even like today, like how could you coach someone to start a conversation like that? You know, like even just the intro. How do you break that ice? Like,
how to do the intro, but also how not to be offended by the intro. You know what I'm saying? If someone comes in wrong, don't be pissed off at them. Like, guide them through the wrongness. You know, as a teacher, this makes sense to you and me.
Yeah.
Like, we can put it on that perspective.
For sure.
But not everyone has that. We've got thousands of hours of reps.
I can do that with jiu-jitsu, that's it.
Yeah, but I can only do it with, like, I can only really do it well with teaching, but it taught me a lot. Because when you're in, everyone's got a uniform on, we all look the same. I mean, it's a joke, but if you got gear and stuff on, and you look out into a crowd, you're like, this is why you wear team patches, right? But it's also, if you're in a room full of diversity, especially like, if you train at like a really big school and you spar, plenty of people in that room you don't know. So it might as well just be like going to a tournament. But then guess what? That's how everyone improves. Is we all have a different perspective. You know, it's on the same thing, and we're all butting it up against each other, but in a good way. We're all testing each other, and then we all improve. But that's because of the diversity. It's because of the difference. You know, to the untrained eye, we may all just be a bunch of people in white pajamas. But to the trained eye, there's very, very big differences in, that guy's a footlocker, or that guy does the arm bar this way, and that guy does the same arm bar that way, and look at that entry, and, you know, and for me, that's always been my perspective of coming up in a very inclusive family, coming up in martial arts, living in China, changed and confirmed a shitload of things for me. Of, you know, like, not everybody's the same, but I love that. I think that's really cool. And it's, you know, to be treated differently in different places is always a really fun thing for me. Well, not fun, it really sucks sometimes. But the difference between living in Pennsylvania and living in Ohio was fucking night and day. Holy shit.
A couple 100 miles makes a difference, baby.
Oh, dude, you don't even understand. Oh, that was nuts for me. Like, to just, because I came here and I'm nobody. No one gives a fuck. Like, I'm a normal guy. Where I grew up, oh, hell no. You know, that was, you were ostracized and people, I mean, beat me up and threatened to kill me on a daily basis.
Man.
It's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Then you come here and you see the difference. Then I go to China and I don't even have to look both ways to cross the street. I literally, like, I almost died because of that when I came home, because I forgot to learn how to look both ways, because I just walk in the street. Everyone just stare at you. Holy shit, he's huge! Look how tall he is!
Yeah.
Literally, like, that was a joke. Like, I'm the tall white guy in town. I'm like, this is the first time I've ever been tall and white. This is cool. What the hell? This is so weird. And then I come home and I'm just walking into the street. What the fuck wrong with you? Oh shit, I gotta look. People don't care. Oh crap. And so, you know, I just get out. Like, if it's possible for people to travel, travel and not just be a tourist.
Right. Even like within the United States, like I've been able to like spend time in like Southside Chicago and Harlem. Like those are rich cultural areas.
And it's
like,
a different culture.
Yeah, dude. There's a different energy there. Like you can feel it.
Yeah.
It's tangible.
It's just, you know, people work a little bit differently and
there's
things
just
move a little
different
different.
frequency, and it's
and it helps.
love. There's love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a different approach.
Yeah.
And so it opens you up.
You hear things like when you go to a place like, oh, avoid this area. Like potentially sure, but like I've been to those places and it was treated fine. Yeah. It's just
totally
it's
cool.
fear mongering. You know what I mean? Like, and I had some of the best food ever there. You know, so.
The best places to eat are often in the shadiest spots. That's how that works.
Man, there was a hot chicken joint and I was on the south side of Chicago. I'm like, man, I might need a vest to come in here.
I'm getting some chicken.
But damn, I'm eating here again. Let me tell you.
Guy eating this chicken. This is
Yeah,
shit.
man.
There's a place like that. It was like a sausage place in Harlem or something, I think.
Nice.
Oh my god. So there's a place on the west side, like over here, like the taco joint that I go to. Bullet holes in the windows, but it's the best fucking tacos on the side of town.
Ever.
I promise you that.
Yeah.
Don't care, worth it. But you talking about martial arts, like that's my exposure to life. You know, it's just seeing different people being treated certain ways by different people, and you know, you have enough human interactions with people, you'd be like, we're more the same than we are different, and then you know, it's gonna be based on like how you treat me, and like you know, I've had people treat me like I'm whatever, the King of England or some shit, and then I've had some people treat me like I'm a piece of shit, so.
And that happens in the same hour.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If you're talking martial arts, man.
Yeah.
Depending on the crew you walk into, you're the high belt, oh my god.
Yeah.
Then you walk into another group and you're the low belt, and you're like, shit.
Yeah. Who is this peasant?
Yeah. It's like, people like to look at you as like, you're speaking right now? Shut the fuck up.
Like, you're like, damn,
you're like, sorry, I'm gonna fuck myself.
God damn.
Bye.
Oh, man.
But you shared a story about an experience you had in Grandview.
Oh, yeah. I'll gladly bring that up if you guys didn't hear that before, the audio. A few months ago, I was in Grandview driving. I was actually coming back from a delivery, and I was actually on my way to Staffs.
Nice.
And there was a car full of white people, which I don't care if the situation, if you're green, it doesn't matter. You're pissing me off. You're brake checking me. You're laughing about it. I see you pointing in the rear view. I'm honking. Get out of the way. You know what I'm saying? There's no time to waste. Like, get the hell out of my way.
Time's money.
Cop sees me. He pulls me over. And he goes, I saw them brake checking you, but why were you honking your horn? I was like, bro, you're answering the question.
Yeah.
You literally answered your question. Ask for my license, registration, give it to him. He goes back to his car. 20 minutes goes by, and then another cruiser pulls up behind you, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Dude, you can search my car if you want. There's no guns in here. I have no warrants. My criminal record extends to one speeding ticket, like 4 years ago. That's as badass as I am out in these streets, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just, that fear is so real, very real. And it's just, he already answered the question of, why are you pulling me over? They're brake checking. Like, if you're driving too, you're going to honk. Get the hell out of the way. But it's stuff like that. Even just walking the day to day, anytime I drive, I told you guys, it's very scary because you don't know if you're going to die by the hands of a cop, or even like with Ahmaud Arbery, are there going to be people who just don't like you today?
Yeah.
Somebody they might even not be from that area. They're just traveling. They see you. Hey, I don't like the color of your skin. I'm going to kill you. And
just like the idea of like the vigilante, like, I'll do it. Like, what the fuck?
So that is very, very real. And so I said, I don't want you guys to understand that at all. Nobody should understand that kind of fear. Acknowledge and understand how to be a part of the solution. But
acknowledge that it does happen to a group of people.
It does, man. But it's very scary shit. And that's not something that stops me on my day-to-day. I'm still shopping in stores. I'm still eating at restaurants. Yeah. I'm still living life. I don't let that, oh my God, I'm a black man and I can't do this. No.
Yeah.
I'm one of very few business owners in Columbus that are still actually even operating, which is a hell of a feat for me anyway. Oh. You know, I don't wake up seeing my color being an issue to maneuver through life, even in business. It's like, I contribute just like everybody else. I'm going to continue. My focus is me and my family, and then also my community. How can I make that better? So that's also really flawed too. Give you some insight in the black community, because you have the more impoverished areas where the people have been through so much shit that they're so one-sided that they don't understand. Like, you still can maneuver in ways. At the end of the day, it is very inconvenient to be black, but we don't get to change our skin tone in public. You have to be that way, but it's very inconvenient at times. That's just a fact. If people have an issue with that, like, you know what I'm talking about. And but again, it's just, you have to, it's a job. Like, you have to keep working. You can't just lay down and be in fear. And you know, that's why I've been so, you know, dead on social media lately, is because I don't need to see other shit. I don't need to hear different biases and opinions from anybody that you're not making the situation better. Yeah. And there's just so much negativity flooding these recent black lives that were lost. It's like, again, the systemic issue. It's not just cops. Systemic issue. You know, governors, mayors, even the president, they're allowing this to happen, right? We can sign executive orders. You know, it was crazy. Trump signed something for social media to tweet or something like that. I'm like, dude, so we can do things.
He's pulling shit out and signing it. So.
It's clear. And again, it's not anything to do with black or white, but we have to get stuff done in the ears of these politicians, in the ears of even these business owners, man. Like Jeff Bezos. I don't know if Jeff Bezos, what his personal life is like, but acknowledge, hey, we need more diversity. And it's not just, I'm going to hire you because you're black. And that pisses me off too. I don't want you to hit a number. I want you to hire me because I am bombing my job. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even with cheesecake, if people buy from me because I'm black, I'll take your money, cool, but I want you to, because I make a good product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so once they try the cheesecake, they ain't gonna matter anymore.
We don't want sympathy. We don't need sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We just want to contribute, you know, our gifts and talents to any sector, art, even, you know, martial arts, law. There's doctors. Even if you're a cashier at Kroger, be the bombest cashier at Kroger you can be. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, martial arts, like we talk about, like jiu-jitsu is your fingerprint. Like, everyone has a different one, you know. Everyone's bringing something to the table. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. You have something beautiful to bring to the table.
It puts skill on the table, man.
Even if it's just a different perspective. Like, again, I just want as many perspectives and as much information as possible to draw the best picture for myself and to portray the best picture for others, you know. You know? That's why we're doing this, you know.
That's it.
Chopping it up.
And also, to give a reversal real quick, you know, that's the situation in Grandview is just one of many times I've been pulled over, man. But given when I was a kid, I raised in a single parent household, and one of my mom's boyfriends was very abusive, alcoholic, and a coke addict. He would come home and the fights and shit like that. I had cops to literally save my life. I don't know if this man would fly off the handle and kill me and my mom. And I've seen these cops as an adult, and I've had these conversations like, I remember you. Thank you. I'm a young black man. Even my brother's dad, very dark skin. They could have killed him for acting crazy out there. They didn't. You know, sir, sober up, get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I see both sides of it. And like I said, it just goes to, if we're going to protest and march around, You have to do it in the entirety. Because at the end of the day, it was very sickening to watch George Floyd get killed by a cop. He's not the first. He's not the last. And there was an Asian cop out there too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the craziest thing. You have to hit all the angles. If you're going to tell it how it is, you have to hit it from all over the place. It can't just be police brutality. Guess what? It doesn't matter. It's still going to happen. So again, the conversations are so huge. Bro, I don't think you guys understand how big the conversations. Even this right here, somebody is going to get some sort of freedom from this. They're going to be like, oh damn, I've never heard anything like this before. I've never experienced anything like this before. You know, your mind is shifted to have more, not even an understanding of black people, but people in general. Talk to people. Diversify your life as a whole. Your little bubble, there is an entire world. A lot of people don't get that there is an entire world out there. Mine is just your neighborhood or your city or your state. They're like, oh, Columbus is so cool. Have you been to Spain? Have you been to Africa? Like these other countries?
The world is cool.
With other people? Did you know that there's people walking around out there?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard, but at the same time, man, it's very beautiful and much appreciated to see a sense of unity too. The protests were going peacefully. I get black, white, Asian, Hispanic. Everybody was out there. Purple, yellow, green. Everybody was out there. Now, what I need for people to do, I need you to have that same energy the other 361 days out of the year. I need it. I need it.
February
don't just post stuff. Yeah. Don't just be out there to say you are out there. Really, like I said, listen, talk, because then the more we have these conversations, then people can say, hey, well, why don't we try this? Why don't we try this? Why don't we try this? It's not a fix of we just get the entire black community together and we storm halls and we storm doors and we demand this. That's not what we want. That's not what we need. And that's not going to fix anything, period. Collectively, how that's going to happen is, again, the small it's so simple, but it's not simple. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know, the examples of how you can have that conversation.
Yeah, examples, definitely.
I mean, because we're friends.
For sure.
And we're here just talking. It's not about race. It's, I mean, we're friends because of cheesecake and coffee. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's in our blood.
But it's that simple. Or like when you go to the store, talk to people that work there.
Even a hello, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
Because a black person who's had so much racism in their life, if they see a white person being kind to them, they might at first be like, what the hell are you on? But it's just like, damn, okay, that's cool. And then that trickle down effect. And then, like I said, you know, you have different people who've had so many different types of things happen. Your mind is one-sided. When you can clear your head to see not everybody is like that,
then that's just one person.
That's it, man. Yeah. It's small things every day. But definitely, even if, like with, I don't know if there's any black people that come to your gyms, just have the conversation. Hey, this is a crazy time. Tell me what you've experienced. I want to know. I want to hear what you've been through. And then, you know, asking these questions, and you already have these relationships with people, they're going to be like, damn, I appreciate that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's people make it more hard than it is. But again, just that little small icebreakers here and there.
And the first step's the hardest, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know, got to be able to stay in the moment, not project the past onto the future.
Yeah.
Just ask. You know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to go teach.
All right, man. I'm sorry, with the sound jump.
Yeah. But we can do it again soon if we need to.
Yeah, man. We can do it again.
Your schedule's slightly, but definitely do something. But sorry, I gotta run.
All right, man.
Yeah,
enjoy, bro.
Yep. See you soon. You see. So good to see you, brother. Yeah. Take care.
You too, buddy.
See you guys soon.
Well, we hang out a little bit longer if you got time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But it goes back. People are very lazy overall. It's just like you don't even want to try, and at the same time, like the hardest part for this situation is people don't even want to do their jobs at work the right way, you damn sure don't want to be inconvenienced out of your personal life to try to have a conversation or just, grasp what's going on.
Yeah, but people don't realize how easy that is, too.
Very easy, man.
It's so easy just to say hi to your barista. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
very simple.
I mean, I don't know. That's just how I work. I make friends with everybody. Like, I'm not necessarily friends with anybody, but I'm friends with everybody everywhere I go. So it doesn't seem odd to me.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it.
You give the same respect that you expect in return.
But it's not intentional.
No, it's just
what I do. When I was taught that, that's my family. We know everybody. We talk to everybody. Going to the store with my godmother. One time I counted. She had 30 independent conversations. And I just said hi.
It's like talking to people.
Know your name, know what favorite food is, who your kids are. Like, that's remembers everything. And knows everybody and knows everything about everybody. So I do that too.
It's amazing.
But that's just it doesn't seem weird to me, so I don't see why it's difficult for people.
If I can jump to, you guys really touching on the mental health thing.
Yeah.
Being self-aware, you cannot help anybody else if you do not know who the hell you are as a person, what makes you tick, what makes you mad. You have to know your own psyche and your own being to sympathize or even to just maneuver. Because once you realize that, hey, I'm just a person like everybody else, I have my gifts, my talents, my flaws. So does this person. You may look different than me, you may talk different, you may dress different, but you're a person too. You may need something, or you may need something that I have. I have something that you need. Those conversations, like I'm saying, somebody might hear this and they were thinking so one-sided that it's just like, damn, I never saw that perspective or thought to act that way. So yeah, there's so many things to really consider, but especially in the black community, man. I want to touch on with the mental health stuff. The people who are of most influence are entertainers, and it's a fact. Jordan is Jordan, but Jordan is not a rapper talking about bitches and hoes and cash and killing people, right? So then these people, and I get it, you're rapping about what you see in your community or what you're doing, it does not matter. You cannot rap about this stuff or talk about it or idolize and glorify it. And then when things like this happen, you want to make it so we need to be positive. No, but you've made your career, based your career off of negativity towards black people, black women especially. That does not work. And
well, how do you get across that that's one person's perspective and not a generalized this is how people act thing?
What do you mean?
Because some people, if you're a rapper and you're talking about what you know about, even if you're putting on a farce, that's one person. Why do people listen to that and then generalize to everybody?
But it goes back to even with social media. People just love trash and negativity all the time. So it's just like, man, that sounds so grimy. It's rebellious. I want to be rebellious. It's not cool to be on the up and up. It's really not. If you look at all the programs and all the people trying to really instill positivity into this country as a whole, you don't get shine. A girl twerking is going to get more likes and more, views than somebody who is an artist, who's a woman trying to show you how to paint. It is what it is, and that again, it's a societal issue that we have to really touch on. But it's crazy, man. It's very crazy. But we need more black leaders to instill confidence into these, especially the young kids, man. They soak stuff up so much,
and that's the chance, man.
And with a lot of this music, and then these guys try to be leaders to the young kids. It's like, you can't, because you're rapping about killing another black person, and they lived that, and they might have had a family member who was hit by a stray bullet. You see what I'm saying? So then you personally cannot just go and say, again, fuck the police, white people this. It's like, we're doing this too, to our own selves. It's not all of us, but again, that small pocket of this nonsense overshadows the entire situation, and we got to fix that too. But yeah, again, these conversations, these sit downs, talking about the stuff that you're uncomfortable with or you don't even want to hear, it doesn't matter. You need to hear it.
And being comfortable with that kind of stuff is being comfortable to sit down and ask questions. I think a one-on-one format is really cool.
Absolutely.
Because it takes a lot of the group fear away. There's no mob mentality here.
No,
it's just two people chatting.
Just talking it up, man.
Yeah, and so I think that's just important. But then maybe listening to this helps someone be able to do that. I don't know.
And then also, to touch on the race thing, we see the negative side of racism, right? We're also not talking about or acknowledging, in the LGBTQ community, there is racism amongst doctors and lawyers. In all sectors, there's racism too.
It's everything, man.
We cannot just be, again, this is such a one-sided topic right now that I feel so uncomfortable, like I said, on social media, I've been off. I don't like to see it because I know all aspects. And I try to talk and learn about all the aspects and do my homework first before I just jump in and say, I'm for this, I'm doing this. Like, that's not how that works, man.
Yeah. People don't put the time in before they put the word out, I guess.
Yeah. But again, it's not all bad. And like I said, I hope any black people listening to this and white folks too, it's like, this is not a time of fear. This is not a time of, splitting apart. I can't talk to white people, I can't talk to black. No, please do talk.
Everybody
chop it up. Just please talk. Please talk. Even if you're the most prejudiced person in the world, if you can for 5 minutes swallow your pride for a little bit and just have a conversation, just, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? That is so monumental. So monumental. And I call it the instant ramen society that we live in. Everybody wants everything so quick.
They don't want to do the work for it.
You don't understand the small stuff. That time that you're putting in, to get to that end goal is so important. So important.
Yeah. Well, I'm running out of questions. I'm trying not to tell too many stories.
No, please do. This is I need to hear perspective too, man. It's like, can you touch on you being Jewish in your community too?
All right. Well, okay. So I need to clarify. I'm not Jewish anymore. I gave that up when I was 12.
Okay, but even still,
I was racially and religiously Jewish.
Okay.
And I say racially because I look Jewish. I don't have curly hair. Everyone else in my family has curly hair, believe it or not. I'm part Mongolian. I got all the fucking Mongolian. I got all of it. But that was a crazy time, especially in the 80s and 90s. Having just a mother automatically put me out.
Yeah.
Like, that's just fucking weird where I'm from. Being mixed race, which no one thinks I am. Some people can tell. Most people can't.
No, if you look, you don't look like you're from Idaho or something like that.
I'm not white. I have white in me. I got a lot of other things in me too. Yeah. But and then being Jewish especially, like, to the point where I'm kind of glad I lived out in a country where it was hard to get to my house, because otherwise shit could have been real bad, a lot. It was, I got death threats. People beat me up. People threatened me. At the least, people are like, what color are you? Because I wore baggy pants. Because this is the early 90s. This is a different time. So my response was always creamy eggshell tan. What color are you? Like, I try to make a joke out of it. Just because it throws people the fuck off. Like, they're trying to be mean, and you're making fun of them, and it creates a gap. I didn't know what that was back then, but I knew how to create the gap to diffuse the situation. But that was life, and I got very used to it. I didn't think anything of it. And then I moved to Athens, Ohio when I'm 15, and you talk about as far as the college goes, it's so diverse.
It's super diverse.
Now, outside of the university, no. But like my high school, hell yeah. We didn't even say the Pledge of Allegiance because probably 25% of the school was from another country. And they weren't going to stay here. They were here because their parents were here. And they were cool as fuck. But like, why are we, like, we just didn't do it. Because it just didn't make sense for everyone. And to go from where I was in PA to where I was in Athens, I was normal. No one gave a fuck. Like, all of a sudden, the fact that I know rap music, or wear baggy pants, or I was Jewish, or had a single parent, or any of that,
like, oh yeah, so do we.
So what?
Yeah, so,
like it wasn't even a topic. I'd bring it up like, oh, like, because I was pissed, and they're like, why are you pissed? I'm like, wait, this is fucking normal here.
There's a lot of us out here like that.
That's fucking cool. And so that was a big cultural shift for me. And that was just neat, you know. And it took me a while to get used to it. I didn't know what to do. And but now, you know, now I live in the burbs, and I know maybe 3 of my neighbors. No one really comes near me. I'm the guy pushing the push sled with no shirt on. Like, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. But I like that now, with all the protests and things everywhere, it seems very inclusive.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't seem separate. It's not, oh, that happened there. Everyone is now listening. Everyone is. That gives me hope.
Yeah, man.
It feels good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I do hope these. You tapped on these birthing pains, man.
I think we just gave birth to the future, man.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
I do hope so.
I mean, and if everyone that has children and seen what happens when a baby is born, it's not pretty.
No, it's painful.
And
there's a lot of screaming and crying.
Everyone's in pain. Even the baby's pissed.
Yeah.
Why?
It's cold. It ain't comfortable.
Why am I out here? What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Facts.
Facts. It's true.
Super true.
But once everyone settles down and heals up, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. And to me, that's what's next. Is baby gets used to the air. Mom gets better. All the oxytocin kicks in, and everyone starts to love. And then you have the most beautiful experience of your life. And if you're a parent, you don't have kids.
No, not yet.
Oh, dude.
My brother is the closest thing to that. I was 12 when he was born, so...
Oh, my sister is very much like that for me, and my nieces and nephews, and I'm always teaching and raising kids, and so it all sort of was a natural progression for me. But to have a child is the best experience of my life. I love being Papa. That's who I'm supposed to be. But if you look at it like that, if you look at what's happening now as the beginning of a life, you can, for me, I can take it much better. I can take it steps. I know where that's going to go. And so I can be really happy about the transition period and the growing pains of learning how to take care of an infant. And the not sleeping, and the being tired, and the frustrated, and the what the fuck do I do? I just got pooped and peed on, and I haven't slept in 2 days, and oh my god, I don't know what to do with this thing. And I mean, I'm a pretty good parent. I already knew how to take care of babies. But, like, you know, you kind of have those moments, and it fucking sucks. But then it doesn't fucking suck. And you're like, this is the greatest thing ever. I love my kid, and my kid loves me, and it's holy shit.
Yeah, no, that's so good. That's a hell of a way to see it. Definitely, we need to. Anybody can be or have a baby. Anybody can, you know, any woman can pop a baby out. Any man could be a dad. But it really takes a lot of work to be a father. To be legit. You have to feed that thing. You have to, you know, clothe it. You got to make sure it's safe. You have to. It's not an easy job.
You got to talk to the baby the right way.
Yeah.
Say the right words.
Yeah.
You give the right example. You know, there's nothing like seeing yourself and your child when they stand like you do and say shit the same way you do and have like a reaction. The first time my daughter said, "What the hell?"
And you're just like,
I was like, "Oh crap, I can't say that anymore. She is 2." Oh, you know. But I look at society like that now.
They're watching what you're doing all the time. They're watching. They're watching.
And and so, like, if you look at what's happening now in that way, things will get better if you raise the child properly and just on a personal interaction basis. What am I doing? You know, even if it's just stand up straight. Do you want your kid to slouch? Hell no. I want my kid to have good posture. Okay, then I'm gonna have good posture. You know, and if you break it down to simple things like that, that's an individual act that can have just great for you, but can have ramification on generations.
Yeah, because at the same time, that child has to go out into the world at some point. Did you raise that child to wreak havoc, like mess shit up all the time, be a criminal, or is your child a stand-up person?
Did you raise that child to be able to take care of themselves?
Right,
and not be a drain on society.
Yeah.
To be able to push through the hard times and be able to make it and adapt. Yeah, man.
Well, that's book worthy right there.
Oh, thank you.
That's deep. Yeah. That's really deep, for real. Very, very deep. Very deep.
But Brandon, this has been fun, man.
No,
I hope the first half got recorded.
Me too. You know,
Shit.
I do appreciate the fact that we got to chop that up.
But that was fun just to chat, though. This has been really nice. It's been informative. I hope other people can listen to it. But just for me and Mike personally, like that was why I sent you that message, because I wanted your perspective. I needed another person.
No, I appreciate it.
So this has been really cool, and thank you for the coffee.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, Little Ghost Roasters, shout out to them.
Yeah. Thanks for
check
being on
them
the
out.
show.
Yeah.
I will contact you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. But even for me, this was a therapeutic time. Like I said, stepping back from social media. I don't have to see anybody getting killed. I don't have to see anybody's face or a hashtag. We get to actually talk about what's going on. Have a conversation with people, not behind a screen, but face to face, and then you get to see the emotion of everything too, of how people are really. Because I can type you out a list of or a poem that sounds sweet on paper, but I might have been laughing the whole time, or I might have been in a pissed off mood writing it. You know, there's really no emotion. So
art is very subjective. Yeah. Once you put it out there, it's up to it's up to personal interpretation, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right, man. Well, I guess we about finished, bro.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so keep your coffee regular, everybody. Peace in.